I think essentially fashion has everything to do with psychology, and psychology has everything to do with fashion. My name is Shakaila Forbes-Bell. I'm a fashion psychologist. I'm founder of the platform Fashion is Psychology. I'm a consultant, and I'm also the author of the upcoming book, Big Dress Energy, which talks all about psychology of fashion and how people can develop a better relationship with their clothing, and just tips into how you can use your appearance to empower you. So take something simple, for example, what you're wearing right now. So the factors, both conscious and unconscious, that drove you to wear it, the way your behavior changes when you wear it, the meanings you ascribe to it, the way your mood changes or is revealed or concealed by an outfit, the way people make judgments about you, and the way they treat you, I guess, based on your outfit. Like all of those interactions, those cognitive processes, they can all be explained by psychology and psychological theories and principles. And, it just doesn't stop there. Like fashion psychology can help explain the motivations behind why we shop, why we buy the things that we do. It can inform designers to understand how they can think more about who they're designing for to make their designs more inclusive and more adaptive. And it also has things to do with other elements of our appearance, how that helps to shape our identity, our social identity, and our sense of self. And so much more. I think a lot of the times when people think about fashion and appearance, they think of it as something really frivolous and meaningless. But when you really strip it back and you think about the decisions you choose to present yourself every day, it has a very lasting impact, and it says something about you. And fashion psychology explores the ways in which you can use the language of your clothes and of your appearance to make sure that what you're saying is true to who you are at your core. So in my book, A Big Dress Energy, I talk about kind of 6 main reasons why we shop. The first one I talk about is the need to express ourselves. So as humans, I think even now with the impact of social media, people want to be heard. They want their voices to mean something. And nowadays, it's not just people are buying clothes, but it's like they're buying lifestyles as well. So there's this theory in psychology called product image congruity. And that just means that when you come across an item that you think has similar symbolic meanings to the ones that you hold true, you're going to be drawn to it. So it's that need to almost like wear your heart and wear your feelings on your sleeve. And if you see a product or an outfit that you think can allow you to do that, that's something that people are going to be innately drawn to. And the second reason is that we're drawn to it because these retailers and these shoppers, they are creating all of these psychological tricks as well that are encouraging us to shop. So there's 2 routes of persuasion that a retailer can take to persuade you to buy something. There's a central route to persuasion, and that one is based on logic, it's based on giving you facts so you can make an informed decision. But there's the peripheral route of persuasion that is based on superficial cues. And obviously we know which one's easier, we know which one they're going to use. So they use things like sound in brick and mortar environments. They use different types of music, they use different layouts, different lightings, different colors, all those things to kind of get you to stay in the shop longer. The longer you stay in, the more likely you are to buy something. They use tactics in their marketing like FOMO and scarcity and social proof. So looking at all the other people that are aspirational to you, they're wearing it. If you want to belong, if you want to be part of it, then you should wear it too. They use things like they rely on our commitment to consistency. So that need to say if you get this piece from this collection, then you should really get that piece because you're committed to this brand, you're committed to the full look, the whole buy the rest of this look thing that they use on their platforms. All of those things, they kind of pick up on our need to be commitment and to show that we're consistent as well. And then the third reason is the need to prove that you're for a cause as well. This day, it's not really good enough to just buy something for the sake of it. Sometimes people, through their purchases, they want to show their allegiance to something, to buy something. And it's the same for sustainable brands as well. A lot of people want to buy into sustainable brands because they want to marry their environmental beliefs into their actual purchase behavior. So that's one reason as well. Another reason is, like we mentioned, people shop because they feel insecure, they feel down. There was an interesting study by two researchers called Sue Kim and Derek Rucker, and they essentially got a group of people together and made them feel really bad about themselves, just made them feel insecure, made them feel horrible, and then they went and watched them shop, and the results actually revealed that when you're feeling insecure, you're more likely to use shopping as a distraction. So, and we find that a lot, like you want to pick me up, retail therapy, like all of these concepts is based on the fact that shopping does kind of pick apart your need to like alleviate feelings of insecurity. And even worse yet, when we buy clothes, when we're in this state, we actually buy clothes based on idealized versions of ourselves, not who we actually are. So we're buying all this stuff to make us feel good, to fulfill this idealized image, and we actually haven't achieved that. So then we just stuff that is not fitting into who we are at the current moment. And because it's not, we need to keep buying because we're not buying clothes that's ready for us now. So it kind of ends up in a bit of a vicious cycle like that. And again, I kind of mentioned this earlier about social proof. Another reason why we shop is our need to belong. So there's this theory by the psychologist called Abraham Maslow, and it's about this theory of human motivation. So why we do the things that we do. And then it has like a pyramid of needs. And in the middle of that pyramid is our need to belong, our need to love. And if you think about when people are buying like in fashion, fast fashion clothing, it shows you that you're a part of the zeitgeist, right? Like you're part of the movement, like you're wearing something that everyone's wearing, you're trendy. And there's even studies that shows that when people wear in fashion clothing, people are drawn to that, you know, they see that allegiance to that. So a lot of people want to buy clothes to help them bolster their social identity and their group allegiances. And then lastly, the sixth reason why we shop is, you know, we want to feel good. Like we mentioned, we want to have that dopamine boost. Like I think research said that around 21% of people shop to relieve periods of stress. And this is particularly true, I think, for younger generations, for Gen Z and millennials. You know, you get that high feeling, like I mentioned, even before you step into a shop, just in anticipation. And a lot of people are drawn to that. But it's really tricky as well, because when you get that dopamine boost, it actually cripples an area of your brain called the dorsolateral cortex, and that area of your brain is actually crucial for cognition, to help you think, to help you weigh the pros and cons. But you're feeling high, you're feeling good, so you're not able to make rational decisions as well. So that's why, as much as I talk about shopping, it does help you feel good, it does help you manage your moods, express yourself, it's all those good things. But when you're shopping mindlessly and you're not doing it with a lot of intention and with care and with your due process, then it can be something that can wind you in a very negative cycle. I don't think we can deny that shopping, it does give that dopamine boost. I mean, studies have shown that even in anticipation of shopping, you get that increase in dopamine. So sometimes it's not even the thing you're buying, but it's the act of shopping itself. And that's because, you know, as humans, we are hardwired to be attracted to novelty. When we get something new, we purchase it, you do get that instant boost of like gratification. However, I think the difference is in what you're buying and the motivations behind buying it. So like you said, Brittany, like if you're buying something with the expectation that, oh, it's going to change your life, it's going to take you out of this mood or something like that, like if you're buying it for that purpose, then you'll see that it's not going to kind of hit the mark in that respect. But if you're buying it after like a very thoughtful decision, after acknowledging that the brand and the style and like the amount of times you're going to wear it, and you know the connotations you have with this kind of outfit that you're drawn to, if you do all of that deep thinking and if you do that internal work, then that kind of high and that positive feeling will last longer, because now you've created that emotional attachment to it. So it's really about acknowledging like, yeah, shopping, it makes us feel good. Like that's just kind of matter of fact. But how long that good feeling is going to last is going to depend on whether you've been mindful about your decision in buying it in the first place. It's a bit risky to say, but I think if we look at how people are responding to the pandemic, it's very much like removed. Like if it's not impacting me, then it's like something that's happening over there. And like the way people are just acting like, oh, that's fine, because they don't connect themselves with issues that are happening. And it's the same thing with environmental issues, like growing mounds of clothing waste and how that's impacting people around the world, which I feel like this is maybe why sustainable fashion choices are not resonating with some people, because at the end of the day, like, people are thinking mostly about themselves. I know this sounds like really bad, but this is why I tell people, like, when you're worried about how you're going to be perceived or how people are going to like you, people are mostly thinking about themselves. So it's almost like you need to reframe things in a way that they can place themselves at the heart of it, which is really, it can be quite harsh. But if you think about, you say that you believe in environmental causes, you say that you want to be sustainable. So there's a way that you can, avoid feeling that cognitive dissonance and that kind of that negative feeling inside, if you marry up your behavior with your actions, like causing people to realize like how it personally will benefit them to change their behavior. Because people are inherently selfish, they think of their sense of self a lot. So if you change things in a way to get people to understand how their sense of self can be bolstered by making sure that there's not that disconnect, and I think that's one of the ways that things can improve and people's behavior can change.